YouTube? Welcome to RJ's Adventures. I've been wanting to do a video on how to buy a camper, a used camper. What to look for, not letting a private seller, I'm trying to get comfortable in my chair, I can't. How to let a private seller or a dealer like Camping World. The salesman's job is to sell you a trailer. It's your job to make sure he doesn't screw you in buying that trailer. I've seen guys buy trailers and think cosmetically they look really good, and then when they get them home, the floors are gone, the walls are about ready to fall out of them, the roof's leaking. So I want to help you. I wanted to go to Camping World, and I went a few times. I know everybody hates Camping World, but they do get some quality used stuff in. It's just your job to know what quality is and what junk is. But I went there a few times, and I used to be able to go in there and just walk in the back, go to the used motorhomes, could always keep an eye on because I'm looking for a used Class A, and go back there and look at them. Well, the last couple times I went in and tried to do this video, that they was bird dogging me, and they was, they're trying to sell a camper obviously, but they just wouldn't let me alone and let me video, and I didn't want to tell them to leave me alone. I guess kind of their place. So I'm doing it here in my man cave. First thing to look at on just an overall camper, it could be a truck camper, it could be a pull behind, fifth wheel, a coach, whatever you're looking for. Let's start with the outside. First thing you want to look for is delamination. What delamination is they went from doing it almost looks like a siding, aluminum siding on the side of these campers, which you couldn't tell where the leaks was coming down unless you'd go up and push on the walls. So they went to these fiberglass, all one-piece fiberglass sides on these, and they're glued to plywood. And there's a few things that causes delamination. One is water. That is the worst thing that happens to it. The second is heat. Extreme heat down in the southwest especially will get it kind of spongy again, and it'll detach from the plywood. Third one is your coach was made on a Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the guy didn't put enough glue on, didn't smear it around enough, and it just happens to kind of break away after time. When you look at it, and the delamination actually bubbles in the fiberglass. You can look down and it looks like somebody's blowing air through it, and it causes like a bubble. If it's up high, it's usually coming from the roof. If it's kind of in the middle, it's coming from a window if the window's close to it. And if it's down low, a lot of times it's coming from the plumbing inside, or it's just from the heat that's pushed it out. Or like I said, it was a coach that was made on a Friday. If it's up high and you see the bubbling along the sides up high on the coach or on your RV, whatever you're looking at, get up on the roof and see if there's tears, repairs. If it's an old roof, it's an old metal roof. If it's the new rubber roof, but you can see where the repair was made. And that's going to tell you that it did leak at one time. Maybe they took care of it in time. Get down and push on that wall. See if that wall is soft or not. Go inside and open the cabinets. Them cabinets hide everything. I went in a coach not too long ago, was looking at it. It actually looked pretty good. And I started opening the cabinets up over the couch, and there was no slide in this one. I opened the cabinets up and went to push on the wall just to see if it was solid or not, and my finger went through the wall because it had leaked so much in there. If you used to open the cabinet, it wasn't stained or nothing. And there was no delam on the outside of it. But you went inside and you could literally just like push your finger right through it. It was junk. And then we went into one closet on the passenger side, in between like where the kitchen and the back bedroom was, and opened it up, and it didn't look bad, but you could see where the carpet was stained where water had come down. And there was no delam on the outside of it. So maybe it was a new leak. I don't know. Where your finger went through was an old leak. But if it's down low, it's usually coming out of a window. Water will go the least resistance. So your leak can be 5 foot away from where your actual damage is, because that's where it settles in at. So if it's around a window, look underneath, but push on these walls. Don't be scared to hit them. You're not going to hurt them. If your fist goes through them, they're junk anyways. Look around, push on them. If it's down low, go inside and look at the plumbing. Look at the floor. Is the linoleum all peeled up where water was underneath it? There's damage in there. Go in the bathroom and push down around where the commode is. If the floor is soft in it, it's got damage. Get away from it. I'm not saying it can't be repaired, and it's what you want to buy. There's one over at not Tom Raper, but Camping World. It's a Winnebago. I think it's the Chieftain, and it doesn't look bad from the pictures on the website, and then you go there and the whole roof is totaled on this thing. But you buy it for $4,000. They say it runs great. The inside doesn't look bad. It needs a roof on it. The sides might have a little damage too, but it didn't look that bad. But it's up to you what you want to buy. If you go all the way around, you get up on the roof, you don't see where no repairs was done on the roof. You don't see no tears. Tears are common where it folds down on the edges. Look and see if there's any tears in there. Look if there was repairs of any kind. If they just got a bunch of, and they used like clear sealer on it instead of using lap seal, Dicor, which they should be using on it. Touch the Dicor all the way, this whole entire roof. Touch it. If your finger still pushes through it a little bit, it's still soft, it's still working. If it dries out, it's 5-6 years old and it's drying out, it'll start cracking. Where them cracks are, water's going to go through. You're going to get damaged. Look at the vents. Make sure they're not cracked. The air conditioning. Look at everything. It's fine. There's no delam on the outside. Everything looks good. Look at the tires on it. Know how to tell the tire date. A tire date, like if you look at the DOT tire date, say it says 5107 on it. That's the 51st week of the year, which it's almost the end. It's like the last, the third week in December. And it'll say 5107. 07's a year. So 51 is the week and 07's the year. So it was made the 51st week of 07. Know if them tires roll. Camping World, I think, has a thing that they won't let them go over 5 to 7 years, and they're supposed to replace them. But make sure they replace them, because a lot of these used coaches, when they come in and they're, $10,000, $12,000 coaches, when they come in, they don't hook them up. They don't make sure the water works, the fridge works. They don't make sure anything works on it. The guy that's bringing it in and selling it says, oh man, this coach is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. And they give them they trade it in, they take off on their new one. You're the sucker left looking at it and buying it and stuck with it, so know what you're looking for. Open the hood, open the doghouse on the inside, look at the motor, look at the belts, look at the hoses, look for oil leaks, smell around with your nose, see if you smell any gas leaks or anything. You can tell when things are taken care of and when they're not taken care of. Once all the outside's done, the brakes. Look at the brakes. Get up, try to drive it. Most of them got drum brakes, can't see them anyways. But look at the hoses on these. Up in the north, we use a lot of salt on the roads, and it will destroy brake lines, destroy them. Most of these coaches aren't drove in the salt anyways, but you're looking at a 20-year-old coach. They could have some pretty brittle lines on them. Check them. Get up underneath that thing and look at it. Look for any kind of leaks or something that just doesn't look right, and question it. You get on the inside. First thing I do is I stand on the step and I kind of bounce, and I make sure the step's good, because it'll rot up underneath where them steps are. Go inside, and everywhere you look, start at the front, open all the cabinets, look at the roof, beat up on the roof, beat the sides of the wall, jump up and down on the floor. Make sure this thing is solid before you get it. If you get into a small dealers will usually run them through and make sure everything's good on them. But you got a big dealer, they're not going to check nothing on this. So when you buy it, your chances are you're buying it as is. You're taking a chance on the refrigerator, you're taking a chance on the air conditioner, the water heater, you're taking a chance on the water pump, you're taking a chance there's no water leaks, no nothing on this. Go through the coach, and just if it looks like they had frat parties in this thing every weekend, turn around and walk out of it. Get away from it. You can tell the ones that was really good, taken care of, and the people just wanted to upgrade. And you can tell the ones that have had 5 owners and they used them to tailgate or hunting shacks off in the woods. Look, I'm a tall guy, and the first thing I do is when I go in, I make sure, for one, I can walk through this thing without ducking and beating my head on anything. Second thing I look for is the shower. They always tell you, oh, look at this nice stand-up shower, and you open the door and you're thinking, man, that's a lot of room in that. Well, you're stepping up 6 inches to get in. I'm 6'3". I step up that high to get in it. Chances are my head's hitting. Get in it. You ain't gonna hurt nothing. Get in that thing. Make sure you can comfortably take a shower in that thing. Make sure you can sit on the toilet and take care of business before and after, if you know what I mean, without having to go out in the hallway to clean up. Go to the bedrooms. These these beds in campers, they always advertise queen beds. They're RV queen beds for one. They're not as long. My feet on every RV I've ever owned, my feet hang over. The one I have now, my fifth wheel, it's a queen bed. My feet hang over. And if you try to go with a longer mattress, then you can't walk around no longer. So you're kind of stuck with it. Or if you push it out and just don't mind not walking around it, I guess just climb in it. But know that when it's advertised a queen, it's an RV queen. And there's a big difference. Like I said, they're not long. Look at the bed. And a bed is either going to go north and south, which is the length of the RV that you're looking at, or it's going to go the width of it, which is east-west. In a lot of pull behinds, they want to put the master room up front. And that front has a slope. So your bed's like this, and then the front is sloped in. Well, right here, if you have that queen and you're tall like I am, and your feet's already hanging over on a queen, well, you've probably lost a good 6 inches of getting your head up in that corner. Now you're back here a little bit, and you're going to hang over more. So, you know, when they're telling you it's a queen bed, understand it's already shorter. And unless that wall is flat where your head goes or where your feet goes, you're going to lose a few more inches of that bed. Your cabinets, the ones that go around your pull behinds, your fifth wheels, your coaches, they all have the same. When the bed goes in, they'll have cabinets above and down the side. The sides are shirt cabinets. Excuse me. Make sure your shirts fit in them. My shirts are long. And a lot of these, I don't think I could hang t-shirts in them without them bunching up at the bottom. So make sure they're actual shirt closets that will fit yours. The bigger the coach, the bigger the cabinets are in them. The smaller cabinets you get. Look at the refrigerator. Make sure it doesn't stink and got mold growing up in it. Look at anything that moves as far as the drawers, the cabinets, the stoves. You can look at them and tell if they was taken care of or not. Bounce around the floor. Like I said, hit the walls. Look at this coach. If you like it, you've done all the things, and there might be a few more that I'm not touching on, but if you like this, whatever, say it's a coach, an A, B, or C, and now you like it, say, hey, let me test drive this thing. Start it, cold start it, let it run, make sure it's smooth, and when you drive this thing like you just robbed a bank. It may freak the salesman out, but get on this thing. Make sure that the fuel pump's still pumping. Make sure the fuel filters aren't plugged up. Make sure that when you hit the gas, this thing takes off and it doesn't choke and chug. If you go out and you drive it scared to death, and I understand people that go from a Prius and jump into a 35-foot motorhome may not be real brave when they get in it, but get it on a straight road and stand on this thing. Make sure it's going to go. So many people will test drive these things and not get them over 30 miles an hour and come back and say, oh, I'll take it. Then they get on a trip and they're trying to get onto the interstate and it's chugging and choking and not getting fuel, or it's all plugged up, or it needs this or it needs that. Transmission slipping. If you take off easy, you ain't going to notice that transmission if it's not real bad. You get out and stand on this thing and it doesn't slip, and it doesn't chug and overheat and ping and pang and carry on, chances are it's pretty good. The belts are good, the hoses are good, the heater hoses, everything's looking good on this thing, and you can get out and do that. Chances are you got a coach that it was really taken care of. Look at the axles on these pull behinds. Look at the axles, and obviously you can't test drive a pull behind. It would be nice if you could to see if the bearings. But the one thing I would probably do first and foremost, if I pulled a used, or if I bought a used pull behind, the first and foremost thing I would do is I would have the bearings repacked on them. So many people, they keep these things for years. They sit beside their barn, moisture's coming up, and then they pull them once or twice a year. And now you get it and you try to go out to Grand Canyon from the East Coast and you burn the wheels up on it. So hopefully these things will help. I'm sure there's a few more. If there is, say it down in the comments. I'm sure there's something I left out, but that's the gist of it. You know what you're looking at. The salesman's job is to sell you something to feed his family, and he's gonna BS you. There's a lot of honest, but there's a whole lot of dishonest out there. Private sellers are probably some of the worst, but they're also some of the best. And that probably don't make sense when I say it, but there's some guys that want to get rid of it, and there's other guys that was a single owner of it, and they took perfect care of it. And that's the ones you want. That's the one I'm looking for. So, hey, I hope this helps. Like, subscribe, keep watching. Got any suggestions, let me know. We'll see you. Until next time.